Hey everybody, for my demo I wanted to give a really quick explanation or demonstration of how to use Jing or really just any other screencasting software so you can kind of get an idea of the usefulness of this tool. As an online student, I don't think there are too many tools that are going to benefit you more than screencasting. It's very difficult to explain in an email sometimes if you're having a technical problem or you're not able to access certain content in certain ways. And so really being able to do a screencast to explain it is really, really time efficient. It gets directly at the problem, and the people who can help you, if they look at the screen, they can tell certain things without even asking you questions. They can figure out if there's something going on. So it's a really very helpful tool. As a teacher, certainly giving screencasts to your students for additional explanation, but also communicating with the outside community, your parents and other stakeholders in your school district that can be a really valuable tool. So all I'm going to do for anybody who hasn't done this yet for this discussion, when I download Jing, for example, and again, there are lots of others, but Jing is probably a quick and easy version of it. Very simple. It's usually a good one to get started on. You can see this little sun right up here in the upper corner. If you're a Mac user, I believe it's over on the right hand side that it's usually defaulted to. So just kind of look around the perimeter of your screen for this little sun. You'll barely even notice it, but once you roll over it, your options pop up. So if I want to make a screencast here, I'm going to go ahead and click on this little left icon that says capture. And it's going to give me these little bars basically, and it's asking me to select an area of my screen. So I'm going to start up here on the upper left hand side, but maybe I don't want the whole screen. Maybe I only want one section of it. I'm going to click down with my mouse. I'm going to hold it down, and with my other finger I'm going to drag it across the screen while I'm still holding down on my mouse. I'm going to drag it across, and it's going to give me whatever area of the screen I want. So let's say I just want this section. Okay, I release it, and then you're going to see this little menu down at the bottom. This is where you can actually just capture the image, and with this option, it's just a screenshot. You can insert arrows, you can insert a text box kind of pointing people directly to what it is you want them to know. That's a very handy, easy way to do it. But for the most part, we're going to be using video. So I'm going to hit capture video. It counts down, and then it starts recording everything that I'm doing. So if I move to another section of the website, or if it's a document or something that I'm trying to explain, if I have a PowerPoint, and I'm running through it, obviously I can see different things going on here. So as I record this, it is actually recording every move that I'm making here within this particular parameter. If I do something down here, let's say I click on another story down here, you didn't see which story I clicked on, so it just moved to the next section of the story. So that's how that tends to work. So once I'm done, I can hit pause if I want to take a minute and regroup and figure out where to move on. If I want to turn the mic off for some reason, I can just mute it. You can restart your selection, and you can just cancel it if you choose. Realize that you only have 5 minutes, and it will cut you off at that 5-minute point. So once I'm done, I can click finish, and it pops into this little screen and kind of explains, what it is that I'm looking at. And if I click the play button, it's recording everything that I'm doing. So if I move to another section of the website, or if it's a document or something that I'm trying to explain, if I have a PowerPoint. So this is kind of the easy way to explain how you run through it, and you can see exactly, picked up on everything that we did. Recording go ahead and pause it. Every move that I'm making. Looks like my browser isn't allowing me to pause it. If I do something down here, let's say I click on another story down here. Okay. You didn't see which story I clicked on. So my options here are to save it and share it. And I'm sorry, it looks like my browser isn't allowing me to pause it. Usually if you click up on here, you can pause it. It's not allowing you to do that, so I'll let it run. I can just mute it. You can restart your selection, and you can just cancel it if you choose. Realize that you only have 5 minutes, and it will cut you off at that 5-minute point. So once I'm done, I can click. Okay, so ordinarily, I don't know there might be something going on with my browser, but I'm glad that you guys are able to see that. Usually when you scroll over the bottom, if you want to pause it for some reason, you can do that, but I think that the browser I'm using is having a little bit of issues right now. So toward the bottom, these are my options when I'm all done. I can share via screencast.com. So when you first created the account, it gave you 2 free gigs of space on a website that you can post your materials. Now it's private. It's defaulted to be private to you. If you want to make it available to the larger public, you can, but for right now it's always set to private. And then your next option is just to save it. So if you want to save it as a file in, one of your folders or your shared drive at Fontbon or anywhere, you can do that as well. For the most part, sharing is the easiest way. So if I click the share via screencast, then I'm going to see this little sort of ticker up here. And what it does, you can tell that this file is 3.9 megabytes. So that's a decent sized file. That'll take up, some space on your computer. And if you go up to 5 minutes, it's going to be a lot more. There's a lot more to it. But it will take, upwards of a few minutes. You can move to other parts of the website or do something else while it's doing that. But once it's done, you will see that it pops up and it says, okay, this was uploaded. And this is the important part. It said your capture has been sent and the link is ready to be pasted. So once I'm done with that, if I go, I can close this, and then if I go into my discussion board, or usually if you're sharing a screencast, it's through a discussion board, I can go ahead and open up a new thread and then just hit Control V. So if I were to do that here, let me log into our class, and I can go ahead. Okay, so once I'm actually into one of my discussion boards, I can go ahead and click Create Thread. And I can say, I can go into Amy's Jing demo, I can go into the text, and I can just say, and I just hit, after I'm done, I hit Control V, and see now my screencast link actually pops in. So I have, as a participant, if I look at somebody else's, I have a couple of options. I can just copy and paste that into my own browser, but if you want to provide a direct link for everybody, what I can do is I can select this, I can go into this little link area that pops in, go to Insert, Edit Link, I can hit Control V here, and then I can hit Insert, and it says to open a new window. That's fine. You click OK. And now when people actually click on it, they're going to be able to see that link. Okay. This is not, it takes a little bit of practice, just like any technology. Definitely try it out, mess up. It's perfectly acceptable to mess up. But if you have questions or issues or problems, be sure to let me know. Thanks, everybody.